Three, and we are live. Thank you for joining us tonight. I got some pretty big news for the channel coming up here. I'm actually just getting used to these lives, so we'll talk about the structure of my lives going forward. Um, I've gone back and watched myself a few times. It's kind of weird watching yourself, by the way. But it's good to do to see how to structure this up. These lives are hard to run because trying to time the different stuff you're covering and the things that happen throughout your day while people are coming in is really tough. So right now there's nobody that's joined us yet, but then now there's three, and then it's gonna rise and rise. So I want to make sure I get the good stuff in when people are here, and I want to make sure that I leave time to interact with everyone. I think the best part about running these lives is the interaction. So I think at the start of these lives, I'll just talk about my day, I guess, just to let everybody come in. So today was a pretty sweet day. We stayed home for once. Um, my wife put in a pool. I took the kids. We had to drop off some stuff at my aunt's house, and yeah, a lot of running around. And I watched the kids while my wife put in the pool for the summer, just a little kids pool. It's pretty cool. I helped her get some of the stuff running. She did a lot of the work. And I watched the kids. She's laughing in the background. She did most of the work, all the work. I did some. I showed her how to do the heavy lifting and run the rototiller just to turn up the ground. So it was pretty good. So that was the day today. Anyways, honestly, thank you guys so much. All the love and support has been amazing. I got an email just a couple hours ago that they accepted my channel to the YouTube Partners program, which is kind of cool. That means that when we run the lives, I believe, I'm not exactly sure what it all means. It's not full monetized, um, but what it means is we get access to super chats and stickers and stuff, I think, which is pretty cool. Um, I'm not doing this to make any money. This was never the goal. I just want to record my journey and share it back to you guys. The setup, like I had to buy a mic, I had bought a good camera. I wanted to give you guys good quality. So I did invest a little bit of money into it, and my computer is 7 years old, so I'm gonna have to buy a new one, which I've pre-ordered the new Microsoft Elite chip or whatever. So that's one of the reasons I can't edit videos is because my computer is just too junky. And sometimes when I look back on these lives, they're a little bit glitchy. This is a good mic, but the computer doesn't have a hookup for it, so it's wire. This computer doesn't, so it wirelessly goes to my camera. And when I listen back, it's not as good connection as when you physically plug it in. So I'm gonna work on that. So anyways, let's talk about the structure of the lives. I've looked back and watched and I always feel like I don't know if to leave time to listen to the chat. I really want to get chat involvement. People that are listening, I want to hear from you guys, and I want to. That's when these things seem to go the best. When there's interaction in the live chat and whatnot. But I don't know when to shut it down or when to start it up. Well, I kind of do based on my life. Um, um, I sound like George Clooney. That's awesome. Thank you. When these lives are going, I don't know when to shut them down or like I haven't quite figured it out yet. Plus, I have my own life going on, so I guess I kind of wanted to let everybody know what I'm doing tonight. Because when I do these lives, I have a personal life too. So tonight I want to go in the hot tub with my wife. So that's my game plan for tonight. As soon as this live is done, I'm not in any rush to get it done. I sound like George Clooney. That's hilarious. Oh, thanks, Cam's dad. So we'll get the Keto-Mojo in and get the reading. I moved the time back a few times because I didn't know what time I had to get the kids bath and to bed, and I wanted to get this live in as early as possible so I had time to go and enjoy the hot tub with my wife. Honestly, this whole cancer journey, I've been going to bed extremely early. I can't stay up past 8, 7, 6 o'clock at night sometimes. And so my wife, I'm going to bed with the kids, and she's out here on her own watching TV. But as I'm feeling better here, I've cut out the afternoon naps, and I'm hoping I can start staying up later because now the kids are in bed. Time for us to enjoy each other too a little bit. That would be really cool going forward if I can get the energy to do so. I haven't been able to quite yet, but some people disagree about heart raises my glucose. Cold lowers mine. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna test before I go in the hot tub. Um, don't know if it raises or lowers. I should check after the hot tub. That's actually a good point. Maybe my hot tub will raise my glucose, maybe it'll lower it. That's actually really cool. I never even thought of that. Just honestly, since I got cancer, I've used the hot tub twice. So, right now that I'm feeling really good, I really want to give it a go. And yeah, so I'm gonna take a minute here to review the Keto-Mojo because a bunch of people have asked me how to review it, and I did make a video on it. But again, you clean your finger. I'll take a little more time tonight. I'm gonna try to do a better job in these lives to explain more stuff. I always feel like I'm on the spot and I'm kind of rushed, so I'm just gonna slow down a little bit. Mm, Get the prick going. I have a Kleenex tonight, so we don't have to run away to get a Kleenex. I was prepared, and then so you pull the back. New needle, I already did that. Then you push out some blood. You just kind of get a little push, and then you always wipe it the first time, and then I always push again. I get a good bundle going. Where's my? I always do glucose first. I don't know if it matters. I say that every time. Heat therapy is good on, but permanent. I have a hard time because my neuropathy, the change in temperature in the hot tub, really bothers me when I get in and out and stuff, and all the weight I've lost. I actually weigh myself tonight. We'll talk about that. 94. So my glucose is higher tonight than last night, which is really weird because I barely ate anything today. I mean, barely anything. I had only 1 cup of bone broth today. I tried to get closer to water only fast. I did have 2 plates of pig belly fat. They were small plates. I don't know. I don't think I don't know. I was probably 500 calories less than normal, which maybe that would spike my glucose. Who knows? Ketones. Did it get it? Ketones are friggin' huge today. 5. Oh my goodness. This is gonna be the best GKI I've ever had. And again, I kept my food intake down today a lot more than normal. Let's see what my GKI is. Oh my god. 5 ketones. Let's check out some of these comments here while we wait for the syncing here. Yeah, they're so much different for us with cancer. Honestly, for me, my glucose is 94, ketones at 5, so my GKI is currently, let's get that to focus. So 1 GKI, but still 5 ketones. That is crazy high. Crazy high. Yeah, our bodies make our own glucose. It is what it is. And like I got help well, I didn't really do anything. My wife put my daughter to bed. I sat in a chair and told my son to go to sleep because he wasn't listening to my wife. So I did calm down, but we did this live a little bit earlier tonight than normal. So maybe that affects it because I did have some fat. Frank says, "Have you lost weight? The hot tub will be wonderful. I use it every night. I also mostly don't stay up past 9." Hard to do, man. It's so hard to stay up past 9. Um, I have not. We went in the hot tub like a week ago, and it was okay. Um, the biggest problem's been the neuropathy from the chemo. I don't know, and yeah, losing with all the weight I've lost. Yeah, the change of temperature is brutal on my whole body. It takes a toll, but it wasn't bad the other week, so we'll give her a go. I'm excited. I'm excited to do this. Yeah, so anyways, the channel getting this whatever it was called, I already forget. That was pretty exciting. Like thanks to you guys. Like it's not me. I'm recording all this stuff, but it's really you guys and all your love and support and likes and views and comments has helped out a ton. Let's see if I can find what it's called again. So thank you guys so much. Honestly, like that's so cool. But that's how we're gonna get out to more people and whatever, like whatever works, works. And I'd like to get it out to as many people fighting cancer as possible. Partners program. They got so many names and different levels. I don't know. But yeah, the partners program. So that's the first step to getting monetized, I think. I think it's 3,000 view hours or something. B12 help my neuropathy. Yeah. Um, there's a few. The problem with B3, I'm scared of bees because some of them spike, some of them are really bad for cancer. B3, especially niacin, one or the other, is extremely bad for cancer. You get huge glucose spikes from it. It's extremely good for neuropathy. I did a neuropathy video. If you want to see what I'm taking, there's really good stock from neuropathy. It was a game changer. I couldn't even use my hands anymore. I had to buy a phone that folds because it has this front screen, so I could hold it and text and everything on this little front screen. Um, but my neuropathy video, Cam's dad, there's some really good options in there for neuropathy that, yeah, the bees work good, but please touch. I sent an email. I'll put this on screen. I did send an email, but I didn't hear back. I don't know. It's hard to get in touch with a lot of people. And I'm actually might not be, and that's another update. I might not be able to do the hyperbaric oxygen. I talked to my family doctor. There's a tear in my diaphragm from the surgery that was really large, apparently. Two-thirds of my large intestine pulled into my chest cavity. And so he was worried about the damage in my diaphragm to go under pressure in the hyperbaric oxygen. So he had a referral which covers through OHIP, our insurance in Ontario. Um, and if you get a family doctor referral, it's covered under OHIP. But he read through my surgery notes and he was nervous to send the referral, which made me a little bit nervous. So he recommended that I call my surgeon Monday, which I'm going to do right away. Um, yeah, I sent the email last week, I think, like Thursday or something. Yeah, hopefully I hear back from him, but I don't know if I can do the hyperbaric oxygen anyways. Like I said, with a tear in the diaphragm, the pressure that it puts on you might not be a good idea. They have 4 doctors at the clinic I'm going to, and they're actual medical doctors, and they review all this stuff with you and set you up and make sure that it's safe as well. So I'm gonna ask, like, it's an hour and a half drive for me just to go there on Tuesday. I don't want to drive there, pay 500, $1,000 for a consult, and they send me home because they won't do it. So there is permanent plastic stitches put in my diaphragm. It was a pretty large tear that occurred. So watching from work right now. Don't get fired. That's awesome. Watching from work. That's dedication. Thank you so much for the support. I really do appreciate it and for the comment. That's awesome. Also, one of the clinics that works with Dr. Seafried has a lot of experience with oxygen. Yeah, they do. They do. Lots of comments coming in. I love it. Are you still micro? Yes. Yeah, I don't want to say that too much openly at the moment because when they go to do this, they have to review my channel and look through all my videos. So now I'm worried about some repurposed. I shouldn't say this stuff out loud. The partners program, they review your channel and look at everything that you talked about. So the psilocybin I did legally originally with through Health Canada. And so the neuropathy, that is exactly it's in my neuropathy video. So yes, I am still using that protocol. I have not mentioned it here. I backed off of it quite a bit with the fasting because it kind of hits you harder with an empty stomach. So I haven't been actually microdosing lately as much. It's just I don't know. I'm really trying to dial in the repurposed drugs that I'm taking. Um, I don't want to have the psilocybin in my system while I'm dialing in the ivermectin. I was taking high doses of that, as you guys know, and I probably took too much. And the methylene blue, I don't. I just don't want to mix too much right away. Oh, you work at home. Work at home, by the way. We were talking about doing podcast. Yeah, they're fun. I love it. I like it because I get to record my journey. Like, I'm not good at writing down everything. So when I talk to you guys, I'm recording everything that's happening. And the reason why I'm doing these lives is because I'm testing all this stuff live with you guys. I'm recording my weight, which was above 126 tonight. It was actually up a little bit. It could have been water weight. Um, it was 126.4. It was 126 yesterday, so I'm up zero point 0.4 of a pound. So I'm doing it to just share it with everybody live. And if this actually works, I'm hypothetically, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I'm feeling better than ever, but I have a scan on the 18th. I don't want people to be like, "Oh, he didn't do that." It's like, no, it did. It's here. It's recorded. It's live. It's official. And anybody, any researcher, any oncologist, anybody can look back and go, okay, for the last 18 days, he did it. There's no way my GKI is growing like this if I'm not doing it. It's just the numbers back it, right? And I think that's very important. And other people, I'm getting so many people reaching out that are in my situation where they'd love to be able to fast and apply all this metabolic therapy, but they're unable to because of their weight. And if something like this actually works, or even if it maintains the cancer, it's a win. I am on immune therapy, but it's not working. Seafried said it doesn't work 60% of the time. It either works or it doesn't. 20% of the time it's toxic, 20% of the time it shrinks the cancer. Um, I'm it hasn't done anything since August. I've had no change in the metastases that are through my whole body. So I mean, it's 99% sure I'm in the 60% category that the immune therapy does nothing. It just goes through your body and it makes you feel like shit. So I have all those scans. Once I do my scan on the 18th, I can go back and show it. Work by myself, not at home. Oh, that's awesome. So you're self-employed. So you're your own boss. Have you heard of Scholar Wave Therapy? Scholar Wave Therapy. No, I haven't, but I've heard of sound therapy, vibration therapy. I've heard of lots of things. Is it similar to that? I'm gonna come back to that comment. Yeah, and hopefully I don't forget. I'm gonna look it up over here. I got two screens going. I set up a second screen. I'm trying to make these lives better and more like set my expectations at the beginning. Scholar. I got her here. Scholar healing devices. Scholar healing device. Is it that one? What is scholar therapy? In scholar therapy, electromagnetic fields and EMFs are harnessed for healing as well as stress relief. Scholar therapy utilizes scholar energy. Yeah, I've heard of stuff like this. I was looking at getting a sound machine actually that you carry around that certain vibrations actually break out. It might be similar. That's pretty cool. I'm going to save this screenshot. Control print screen. Where's print screen? Or is it just print screen? There we go. I see that. That's awesome. Oh, now it's coming up here. Close that. Do you take? Yeah, I take MCT oil every day. I didn't take it today, and my ketones were at 5. I didn't even take my MCT oil. I do take it. Uh, I just drank my coffee black today. Oh, we got a caller. That's pretty cool. I'm excited. Let's bring in the caller. Yeah, I take MCT oil. I didn't take it today.
Mr. Watson, can you hear me?
I can hear ya.
Hey,
I
this
can.
is Little Man Dreams.
Oh, little man dreams. You were asking about. I'm gonna turn my volume a little bit over here so I can hear you.
Hold on, let
You're
me turn on
asking.
the volume. Hold
Oh
up.
no, I got you. I got you. You're good. It was just on my end. I just didn't have my volume up. We'll look some more questions
Yeah,
here. Do some research. I definitely.
this is Dr. Saul, but you can just call me Saul. That's Uh, my work with vitamin C was when I did my master's in health science. I was a big proponent of orthomolecular medicine. So I was researching the Gerson therapy and Dr. Robert Cathcart and vitamin C. This is the one that you're looking for. I don't know if you can see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can. So I ordered some online, but it's not gonna be in for a few weeks. It's the only place I can get it. Amanda, can you grab the vitamin C out of the cupboard so I can show them which one I got?
Yeah. It
I
comes like
did.
it tastes nasty.
Does
I
it?
mean, and if you try to, it won't dissolve. Like
No
it's
way.
kind of
Is it? It's a liquid or like a
no.
gel?
It's like a very potent gel. And if you try to, you'll notice that when you put it in the water, it just you keep trying to stir it, and it just doesn't dissolve. So
Really?
from my recollection, from what I understand, this is the one that gets transferred, that gets shuttled to the liver, and then the liver is the one that starts to shuttle it to different places where it needs to be. Um, I'm not sure of how vitamin C works for cancer specifically, but from the research that I've been reading, and I know I can't verify this, it helps medications do their job significantly better. But you said you were off of chemo, correct?
I'm off chemo. I'm on
Right.
immunotherapy that hasn't worked since August. So my health food store had this liquid vitamin C.
Does it have the lipospheric technology in it?
It
Oh,
says
it
it
does.
does, but I
Okay.
ordered online that one that you have in your hand. The reason I went and bought this one is because the shipping time is like 2 or 3 weeks. So I ordered
I
this
get it.
one for now, and they said this one gets absorbed through the liver as well. I believe it's liposmall, lipospheric technology. I believe it's in here.
Okay, so let me tell you how I did it, and maybe it can help you. When I had
Yes.
pneumonia and dengue, because I studied medicine when I was in the Philippines, I did my master's in Samoa, and then I did my medical degree, my doctorate in medicine in the Philippines. And then I came back, and my children got sick, and I wasn't able to pursue licensure, so I just dedicated my life to taking care of them now. But with me, what happened was is that when you take the vitamin C, I would start off taking, I would say, 2 to 3 packets every 3 hours. And then
And
every
are they
3 hours, I would
1,000
take a,
milligrams? Are they
yes,
1,000 milligrams?
yes. I would take every. Now, the moment I started getting loose stools is when I would pull the dose back by 30%. So the loose stools is the sign that your body says, hey, you're taking too much, we're good.
And your
So for
body just
me, I
gets rid of
found,
it. Like,
right,
vitamin C is extremely safe. Your body just
it
pushes it
is,
out.
it
It's
is
not like
safe.
you can overdose on vitamin C.
No,
I've
you
done the
can't.
research on that. Now, is there any risk of vitamin C and vitamin D? Because I did have my vitamin D test. I do take high dose vitamin D. I know it's calcium's a big risk. Was vitamin C in there? I can't remember.
Vitamin in terms of I don't really know the cross reference, but when you start combining fat soluble and water soluble, I don't think there's a cross reference or a cross match to it. But again, I'm not sure because I didn't I was so desperate to, I was in the third world ER at 3 in the morning lying on a gurney with 105 fever. So I was like, I need this vitamin C and I need it now because the Cathcart or the Dr. Robert Cathcart or Klenner protocol, I was taking 8,000 milligrams of vitamin C every 20 minutes until the fever broke.
Wow.
So it saved my life. Now you'll find that people who are more sick, they'll keep taking the vitamin C of this kind, but they won't have loose stools. So that's the
Really?
body telling you that, hey man, we've got to continue on this path. So go ahead and keep giving it to us. But in terms of like what's been happening to you, it seems to me as if like this is a question I wanted to ask you. And I've asked this to other people like Jeff the Prosperous, but I don't get a response back. And my question is, do you think chemo hindered your ability to recover?
It's a tough question, man. I got two answers for you. I had a lot of It's tough because I had a lot of good results from standard of care. I can't lie. Here's the deal with standard of care. It works and it works temporary. It'll give you 3 to 6 months of benefit, and that's your first line treatment. And the reality is they only do scans every 3 months. So does it even work 6 months? No. You get great results and the cancer shrinks and then it stops working immediately. And then they move you to a second line treatment, which is a different kind of chemo that kind of works. You're lucky if you get some more shrinkage and then it stops working again. Same with radiation, it works and then it stops working. So right out the beginning, I got tremendous results. It was a huge positive. Um, Standard of care also includes surgery. Getting the tumor out of my esophagus was a huge win. Um, I have a hard time bashing it completely. My problem isn't with the standard of care treatments themselves. It's with the deceitfulness. It's with the girls walking around with chocolates and putting chocolates in your face and feeding you insures. And they know that cancer is a metabolic disorder. And my problems with at the beginning, when I asked my oncologist, is there anything I can do diet wise to help fight this cancer? And he said, no. My problems with, I just had a bone scan and I went in there and it showed no cancer. And the oncologist is like, well, you're never getting to remissions anyways. Who cares? You're stage 4, just writing you off.
Right.
And they do this to everybody. And it's so, and when they do that, what they don't realize, when they don't give anybody any hope, even if they're at stage 4, even if it's glioblastoma, like look at Pablo in Australia. If you guys don't know, anybody watching this needing encouragement, Pablo was stage 4 glioblastoma. That's 100% mortality. 8 to 12 month life expectancy every single time. Glioblastoma. He was published by Seafried. It's now 10 years he's alive. He declined standard of care, went on a ketogenic diet, and added repurposed drugs, and he's still alive. It's 10 years. And I mean, that's never happened before. Now there's more people following in his footsteps. Again, he declined standard of care. So your question is very complicated. It's hard to answer. Is it hindering my ability to heal? Probably. But I also didn't know when I was diagnosed with cancer, I didn't know all of this, so I would have been dead.
Okay. Because I'm able to understand a lot of Dr. Seyfried, or Professor, whatever he wants to be called, but Professor Seyfried's work. And to me, it seems as if there's been many people that, like, I was listening to your interview with Dr. Nee, and it seemed as if like she's going into a different direction, like she's going all over the place. And you're kind of like, just like, okay, the science has already been established. There's no reason for me to find something else. My GKI is my lifeline. Glucose and glutamine is what's feeding it. I'm just going to stick to that. So I feel like you
But
haven't been
there's the issue.
confused.
Dr. Nee's got it. She's also a doctor, and
Right.
she's read many different protocols, and she's been doing this for 8 years, and she's found different things that have or haven't worked for her. And so her protocol is based on experience and her medical background. And Professor Seafried's research, he's the one that just calls to me and resonates with me. But there are other protocols that are very similar that also beat cancer as well. I'm sticking primarily to carnivore diet because of my weight. She's gone back to more ribeyes and stuff to try to put muscle mass and weight back on. So is she going in different directions? She's using a much broader range of repurposed drugs that from little pieces from different directions that do different things based on 8 years of trial and error, but also she's a family doctor prescribing this stuff. So I think she has a better ability to be able to nitpick different pieces to treat herself. But I could be I don't know. Maybe you're right. I don't know. I have a finance background, so I have a really hard time comprehending. It took me well, now I get a lot of it because I've done a lot of research and put in the time and the work, but it took me a long time to get here. I get it. Something like the lactic acid that Seafried talked about, like that really stuck with me. And then my buddy, who's a horse race trainer, is talking about dosing horses because with the baking soda, and that's how I got into that. And like that neutralizes the lactic acid, which I don't know, my body feels a million times better. So like now I'm able to put these things together, but baking soda is not coming from Professor Seafried either. That's coming from a horse race.
No, I
So
get
I
what
think
you're saying. I get what you're saying, but you were also saying that niacin or B3 was spiking blood sugar, but in Professor Seifried's book, he talks about how foods should have iron salts B2, B3, and B5 for a healthier mitochondria. But in your case, you said that your niacin starts to spike, gives you that blood
no,
glucose spike, does it not?
niacin does
Right.
spike glucose. If you're getting your foods, like I think you still need these things, right? But when you're dosing it, I think it's a situation where your body's getting a big injection of these vitamins or minerals, and that's causing the big glucose spike, which is where the cancer is going lights up. It's just like what they do when they scan you. They inject you with um, sugar contrast, which just the cancer lights up. I'm going to take my GKI meter with me to the hospital on the 18th, and I'm going to test my GKI before and after my scan. They say it doesn't grow the cancer, but if you're getting a huge glucose spike, it's most certainly growing the cancer. Like that's a
Well,
lot.
do you know how long the glucose spike lasts for?
I guess we'll find out on the 18th. I've never tested it. They don't tell you. They say it doesn't do anything, but it's sugar. It's sugar contrast. Like
Yeah, this
it goes
should
in.
work. I mean, you're not going to get it in time, I don't think, but the vitamin C is a competitor for glucose. So,
Is it?
and it is. I'm pretty sure it is. I'm like 80% sure. So you might want to try to see if you can kind of experiment with the dose and see how much you can hold before you go in there and take that scan. However, I don't know if it's going to affect the scan or not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
have
know.
no idea, but at this point now, if you're kind of like on this path of like you're just following the science and doing it right, I don't know how often you're going to get scans. Is it going to be every 3 months?
Um, it's supposed to be, yeah, it's every 3 months, my scans. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Unless there's other things that come up sometimes and you need a scan. I've had a lot of scans this year because of the surgery and stuff. So my normally everybody with cancer gets scans every 3 months. We have a question here, actually, maybe we can talk about here from Cam's now. We got some more comments coming in. What we got here, and we're talking about vitamin C. Seafried says it needs to be IV, and this is true. However, uh, it's $200 a bag, and you need it like 2 or 3 days a week. And if I'm gonna do hyperbaric oxygen on the other end of the country right now, I kind of feel like I gotta pick one. And what Seafried's saying is your body can't absorb enough vitamin C to make an impact. And what Little Man's Dreams is saying is that if you take it like this form, not this form, the form that he was holding up, you can actually dose it and your liver can absorb it. So normally like pill capsule this is from my research, correct me if I'm wrong. When you take like a pill of vitamin C, it's like 100 milligrams max your body can absorb. You take the one that he's showing, it's like 2,000 milligrams your body will actually absorb through the liver. So I don't know if Seafried, he's just talking about normal vitamin C. So taking it in this form, high dosing it this way, yeah, it may be different, but if nothing else, it's boosting your immune system and you're going through all this protocol anyways. There's no negative side effects to it. Um, the one I was worried about was high dose vitamin D3, but I don't think there's any crossover. I did look it up briefly. I'm going back on old knowledge. I know calcium's an issue with D3, but I do take it with liquid D3 right now. I don't think it's an issue. I couldn't find anything briefly looking, and I just want to double check that, but I'm taking it anyways. I like to risk it. So if you're watching at home, don't high dose D3 and vitamin C unless you look it up or look up other medications that you're on. I don't think C interferes with anything, to be honest. Like your body just pees it out. So that's
Well,
so to answer your question, yeah, with Seafried, I don't know. That's my take. What's your take? Little Man's Dreams.
the thing is I think what's happening is that with IV, it bypasses the digestive system. So, it's just going to go directly to where it needs to go. However, when you are, all of us here, bust our rear ends for our money. All of us here, we work hard for our money. So I don't like to see money get thrown away. So the only companies that I trust besides the Lipospheric is a company called Metabolics in London. They're called Metabolics, but there's like 3 times the price. But when you want to talk about, that's like the Rolls Royce of supplementation. So anything that you get it, if you can get it from them, from metabolics.com, they're the only company that I would trust, because everything else here in the States, I don't know about Canada, but in the States, there's a lot of fillers. A lot of fillers. Very, very small. They don't have independent testing, and if they do, they just fabricate the whole thing. Solgar's pretty good here. Lipospheric and Metabolics. Those are the only 3 companies that I pretty much trust. So I don't know if anybody wants to comment on that.
No, that's awesome. We got Kathy saying IV vitamin C. Yeah, that's definitely probably the best for cancer. Like there's no doubt about it. But like with it, there's also a limit to what you can afford and a limit to what you can do in your protocol, right? So IV is definitely the best for cancer specifically. But I'm gonna try this for a bit, because I can't afford $600 a week in IV vitamin C. What about his working very well for their cancer? I'm not sure. Cookies, etc. What about his dot?
I haven't heard of that for liver cancer,
No,
actually.
no, that sounds in. I'll save that. Let me print screen and look into that later. Thank you, Frank, for sharing that. Print screen for later. I'm gonna look into that because I really can't answer that right now. So your background's in medicine. So you said that you're watching Seafried quite a bit. What is your
Yeah.
takeaways from Professor Seafried?
Well,
Like
it was
if
after
you had to sum up what he's. What's that?
it was after I had because I had a couple of scares of my own, and after I got checked out, I got an ultrasound and X-rays and blood work. They said, you're all clear, but Seafried's work just started to freak me out, because when he proved that it was a metabolic illness, and that you really do have a lot of more control than you think when it comes to cancer, I lost, like, I would say, like, almost 40 pounds. I treat myself as if I have cancer. I mean, I have my GKI meter with me, and most of the time it's between 1 to 3. Last night it was a 2. I'm on a strict diet now. I was just like, I'm just freaking out, because
What was your question the other day was about carnivore diet, actually, and I think the answer that you actually needed to get, because I didn't understand the question, but I think you need more fats in your diet. Basically, you're asking about it was basically constipation, right?
Well, what was happening was this. Okay, I'm trying to make it short. What happened was is that after I was having these really, really bad, gastric pains, I had this, I don't know if it was GERD or whatnot, and my attending used to say, I hate it when patients come in here for every single little damn thing. So the rule is, if it goes away, or if it doesn't get better, if it doesn't go away, you got to check yourself in. So everything was going away. Everything was fine. I changed my diet, lost weight. Everything was going great. Everything was fine until this stupid nagging right-sided pain would not go away. So after 2 weeks, my wife said, you know what? I'm getting tired of this. You need to go in. Shit. I went in. I thought I was feeling myself, thought I had appendicitis. I'm like, I tested McBurney's, Pori-Markle sign, heel strike. I was like, I don't have any of that. My gastritis is gone. My GERD is gone. I don't know what the hell it is. And it felt like I was having pain in the right, and then the pain would go up to my chest. And then I would have pain in the right, and then it would go up to my chest. It's like off and on, off and on. And then
Weird.
went to the doctor. The doctor was like kind of flabbergasted, and she was like, okay, let's take some blood work and see if you're having appendicitis. Blood work is fine. Then she said, I want to do some imaging. Let's do an ultrasound. They did an ultrasound on my right side. They jammed the wand up my rib cage to see if I had any gallstones. They jammed it in my epigastric area, up and down, my right side, up and down, up and down, up and down. And she said, your ultrasound's clear. We want to do one more test and then you're out. She said, we're going to do some x-rays. They did a chest x-ray, ab x-ray. She said, okay, you're all clear except for one thing. And I was like, oh shit, they got me. And she said, you have stool all over your colon. It's right here. And she said, this is probably because of your fasting that you say you've been doing. This is probably why. And then she said, you need to take some fiber, or, you can take some kind of, milk of magnesia to get this stuff out. But
No,
this
don't do that.
may,
So here's the deal. Every time I go to the hospital, last time I went to the hospital, they said they said I was constipated. That's why I was in pain. We would call 911. I was like, have you ever had a client with an esophagectomy? Like, do you even know what you're talking about? That's their answer to everything, first of
right.
all. So I had to call my surgeon on my own. He goes, no, your pylorus muscle shrunk. He told me on the phone based on my symptoms. He's like, those people at the hospital don't know what I'm talking about. They say everybody's constipation sends them home. My surgeon even said that. Just add more fats to your diet. Honestly, that'll clear it right up. Instead of
So,
fiber, you just need more fat, like fattier meat. So more ribeye steaks, more fat in your diet, less leaner meats and more fat. And then if you start to get diarrhea, then you go the other way and go to leaner meats. That's all it is.
so at this point now, like, what's the best type of fat? Because over here in California, they look at me as if my head's screwed on backwards. When I ask for can I have the fat? They're like, what? We have meat for sale. Like, it's
Well, not
really
even
weird.
that. Not even, you don't even necessarily have to eat the fat. Like, all you really need is just good grass-fed ribeye steaks and eat that more like daily. Like, eat a ribeye steak for dinner for a couple weeks. That alone should fix you up, and less like leaner chickens and stuff. Just fattier meats will clean that right up.
Yeah, because over here, man, I don't know if you heard about California on the news, but
It's rough,
oh my
eh?
God. Oh, dude, And let me ask you a question off the topic. Is the Egg McMuffin better in Canada than it is in the States? Is it?
I have no idea. Maybe. I haven't had one in the States in a while. Um,
Is it good
I
in Canada though? Is it pretty
My
good?
wife was just over there. Is it better in Canada or in the States? Did you have one in the States? She's on keto. She's never had one in the States.
Oh man, dude, I can't do it because I'm a carnivore, man. Man, I stopped that a long time ago, man. Well, yeah, but
Oh,
anyway,
that's
man.
funny. Quick question here about what chemo I'm on. I lost it here. I was on Full Fox. You said somebody asked, forgot what chemo I was on. I was on Full Fox, and Amanda, what chemo was I on? 5FU, Full Fox,
Oh,
and
fluorouracil. So you were
bottle
on flow. Oh wait, so you were on
transfusumab.
fluorouracil?
I was on 3 different chemos.
Okay,
Those 3.
so 5-fluorouracil, you were on that, and then when it stopped working, they took you off of that and they switched you to immunotherapy.
No, I was on immunotherapy the whole time.
Oh, you wanted it the whole time.
Yeah, the
Okay.
immunotherapy I was on worked with my chemo. They were allowed to go together. Right now I'm on no chemo since November because I was having allergic reactions, and OHIP won't cover my immunotherapy with a different chemo. So since there's been no change in the cancer, but there hasn't been since August, and I was on chemo till November. I don't think the immunotherapy is working. Like, you got 10 months of scans of no change. Like, tell me where the immunotherapy is working. But there's the odd chance that it is working and maintaining the cancer. But according to Seafried, it's like, no, it's 60% of the time it does absolutely nothing. I think it's been my diet and protocol that's maintained the cancer. But that's
How
my belief.
involved is Professor Seafried in your treatment when you were kind of designing your protocol?
Oh, he was everything at the beginning. Like,
Oh
everything
yeah,
I
okay.
did was built on him. I've had it, like, as we go through comments here, like, a lot of people, there's no right or wrong answers to this. There's just trial and error. You become your own science experiment. So all you guys are really saving my life too. Like, the vitamin C thing that you're saying. I've been taking this one, and honestly, only a couple days now. Honestly though, that could really boost my immune system and maybe kill some cancer cells. Like vitamin C does boost the immune system, right?
It does. It does. I mean, to me, vitamin C to me is kind of like the lighthouse. Like it whatever it is that you're taking, it helps, either vaccines or antibiotics do their job more efficiently. Then that's what happened to me when I had to take vitamin C, because I was working in the tuberculosis ward. So I was exposed to a lot of stuff, but then I also had to sleep on the floor. I had to sleep on the stairs because we were doing 36-hour shifts. So in a third world ER, you had to sleep wherever you can. And so over there, and I was just getting exposed to all these illnesses, and then I finally got caught with pneumonia. And then after pneumonia, I got caught with dengue, and then my wife overnighted this to me. So that's the only reason why I'm still. They raised the price by I think 40%.
Man, there's lots of comments coming in here for you. I'll just read some of these to you.
Yeah, sure.
Carnivores don't need or here. This one here says add beef tallow. I don't know if you know what beef tallow is, but that's a good way to add some fat to your diet. Keep carbs super low. Obviously, you're on a carnivore diet, so we got that one. Ribeyes don't cut it for me. I have to supplement it with other fats. So there you go. You're not the only one that's having these issues. Other people have to supplement with other fats. Don't want to combine high carbs and high saturated fats. No, you don't. Fermented foods like milk, kefir, and sauerkraut.
Sauerkraut. That made me feel horrible. Horrible.
Yeah, man. Honestly, fat. So
Horrible.
there's lots of people that are saying don't add more fiber. A lot of people here saying that they've had the same issues, or not the same like they can't get enough fat, so they're adding fat to their diet. Just ribeye steaks alone doesn't cut it. Add lots of butter. I would also recommend butter raw for the extra short chain fatty acids. Yeah, I agree. I butter on everything. Like I put butter on my steaks now. I put butter on everything. Right now I'm fasting. I'll put butter, like literally eat pieces of butter, like get fat into it. The one comment I really like is the beef tallow. Like that's a really, like, beef tallow is like pure animal fat. It's like filtered and you use it to cook with and stuff. I add it to bone broth with bone marrow. Like so whatever you gotta do to get more fat in your diet till you start feeling constipated. But there's lots of people commenting here. If you're on carnivore, stay away from fiber. I couldn't agree more. Like they don't know what they're talking about when it comes to carnivore diet. Like you really need high fats. It's cut out the lean meats, fattier meats. Like do you eat chicken and stuff too?
I just stopped because I don't know why. Like I get I don't know. Okay. Do you ever get that feeling when you're on carnivore that you feel so good that something's not right?
That's a great feeling, man.
Yeah, but it's kind of like, no, something's wrong. Something has to be wrong. Why do I feel this good? Like, I don't know.
Dude, that's how like 600 million years of your evolution. Oh, like literally, like humans, like 600 million years of you was built on literally shooting animals and eating it throughout the winter. Like there was no vegetables for 6-8 months of the year. You went out into the forest, you're lucky to get a few berries, and I doubt there'd be any vegetables growing in the forest around you. You kidding me? Like I don't even know there'd be very many berries to feed a whole town. It was all meat and fat, man. Like you were made up of meat and fat. You go to like Inuit tribes, they literally eat whale fat, and like they are the healthiest people in the world. They fast and they eat animal fat. So you felt so good because you felt like you're supposed to feel.
But
So
here's the thing. Here's the thing that I was kind of trying to understand. Like when it comes to eating fruit, isn't the plant wanting you to eat the fruit so you can crap the seeds elsewhere?
no, man, the plant's trying to kill you. Didn't you ever see
Yeah, of
Dr.
course. Yeah,
Anthony
I agree
Shafee?
with that, with Dr. Chafee, what he was saying. But I was like, when I was in pre-med bio, that we were taught that if you eat, like, let's say watermelon, you're designed to crap the seed somewhere else
Yeah,
so that the plant can continue.
a bird's
Oh, okay,
designed to
there we
do
go.
that.
There we go. Okay.
Like
Yeah.
every animal is designed to eat from its natural food group, right? Birds are
Right.
designed to eat that. Cows are designed to eat grass. Like you got 600 million years of evolution of eating animal fat, dude.
Yeah. I did add recently, 2 weeks ago, I did add liver. I
Add
did.
what? Lemon?
No, liver.
Liver, man, when I get off this fast, I'm gonna add liver. There's so
Yeah.
many good nutrients in liver. I don't mind liver and onions. I'm gonna read some of these comments here. Do hyperbaric chamber 1 week, then IV. Yeah, you're not wrong, Kathy. I know. I flip-flopped on the vitamin C thing so many times. Hyperbaric, you missed earlier. I think you said you came a bit late. I don't know if I can do hyperbaric, so I might be stuck to vitamin C anyways. Do you guys know anything about brain cancer? Can you suggest anything? Brain cancers,
Lepto
man, like I
leptomeningia.
yeah.
Not from the supplemental point of view, but she would have to look. What are the labs? WBC,
Here's my
CRP. C-reactive protein. How far is she along? He or she is along. You know.
I'd say go see Professor Seyfried's work, and I'd go straight. I know it's a different type of brain cancer, glioblastoma, but he published Pablo's case. Honestly, if I had brain cancer, the first place I'd go is Pablo, knowing what I know now. Um, all cancers ultimately biologically work, or biologically, is that the right word? I think so. They all work the same. It's uptake of glucose and glutamine. I would go right to Pablo's case. That's what I would do if I was diagnosed with brain cancer personally.
Yeah,
So
but the thing with the interesting thing with Pablo Kelly's case was he went straight metabolic from the get-go.
I know,
Yeah,
I know, and
so
that's
this is just
so that's you're right on. He went straight metabolic from the get go. That's a tough decision, but brain cancer is different. Like I mean, standard of care. Where's the comment? RJ, the problem with brain cancer is standard of care is radiation, like in the brain. So you really got to ask your questions, find out what your risks and side effects are. Um, Sometimes like they radiate the hell out of your brain, and within a month or two, you're not yourself anymore. Like it changes you as a person. And even if metabolic therapy didn't work, it's tough, man. Even if metabolic therapy didn't work, like if it was me, I don't think I'd want to go through that brain
well
damage and
because the
have my
thing
family
is that
care for me.
well the thing is with Professor Seyfried's work, he's already established that they're all fermenters. So it's kind of difficult for me to kind of comprehend as to if a person were to do metabolic therapy and get their glucose down, that it wouldn't be helping their cancer no matter what the origin is. Because he's already established the science that that they're just fermenters. So
So
he
what
has
he
said
actually did to let's just solidify what he just said. So what he did to prove it, to make it undeniable, is he took a healthy cell and a cancerous cell. He took the mitochondria from the healthy cell and put it into the cancerous cell, and the cancerous cell became healthy again. And then the mitochondria in the healthy cell had cancer. He did the same experiment originally with the nucleus, and that event didn't happen. So in other words, the mitochondria is the dysfunction of the cancerous cell, proving that it's a
right,
metabolic
but he
disorder, and that's
also
exactly what you just said.
right, but he also interrogated, in his words, interrogated the cancer cell when he would put the cancer cell in salt solution, and he would pretty much kill the cancer cell, and then he would start adding stuff back. And with glucose, the thing just started flourishing. When he added back glutamine after every single amino acid, it was glutamine, which was the clincher.
Correct.
Right.
Glutamine is, and that's the building blocks of the cell. Every cell needs
Right.
glutamine. That's the problem with glutamine. Dawn's amazing. I honestly think I know how to get Dawn, and I'd honestly consider self-dosing Dawn. Like it's a safe drug if you got your dosage right. Low dose Dawn is super safe. I don't know if I'd be able to record that on YouTube. I'd have to move over to Rumble, but I would really consider it. Like Dawn in low doses would reduce that glutamine uptake. That's the only thing that I know of that can truly do it. Is that correct?
There was another patient under the care of Dr. Paul Huber. I don't know if you want to Google him or if you want to YouTube him. Dr. Paul Huber took a patient who had a stage 4 pancreatic cancer, and his protocol was he added glutamine to the patient's regimen, but he also added turkey tail, vitamin D, and vitamin C. And he told the patient two things. He told the patient cancer hates glucose and cancer hates oxygen. And so the patient, who was 63 or 65 at the time, would go mountain biking or bike riding hundreds of miles per week, or 100 or 200 miles per week. And he managed to shrink his cancer, that the chemotherapy was not only effective, but then the surgeon would say, okay, you shrank the cancer, now you've contained it, now I can go in there and remove it. So he's now cancer free. But he added glutamine to his regimen.
Mm.
Do you see what I'm saying? But he was also biking a ton, like every single day, just biking and biking and biking. So, and it worked for him. So I don't know if that's something that you would, hyperbaric, it costs money, man. Biking is
That's
pretty
just
much
it.
free.
And the problem is there's evidence this works through C-Freed. But you just don't know what's gonna work. It's almost like you gotta do little bits at a time. My cancer at this moment is not a sprint, it's a marathon. So I think I have
Right.
time to adjust. If you're diagnosed with glioblastoma, it's you still got time to work it out and take your time and make your decisions. You should definitely slow down and figure out what you're gonna do and really weigh your options. Cancer is a psychological emergency more so than it is a physical emergency in every single case almost. Having
Well,
said
this is
that,
why, this is why I was trying to ask if anyone would do a consult with chemothermia, because I've listened to their reports. I've listened to the Moss report where they interviewed physicians at chemothermia, and
what's
it's a system.
chemothermia?
Chemothermia is a clinic in Istanbul that uses a metabolic therapy in conjunction with standard of care.
Mm,
And so they also do Zoom clinics. I've looked at their testimonials. I've heard their interviews there's an interview with called the Moss Report, where
mm-hmm.
they explain to you and they talk about Dr. Seyfried's work and how they use that. Plus, they also use hypothermia. They use hyperbaric oxygen. They were talking about how they would inject insulin into the patient, the blood sugar would come down, and then that's when they hit it with the chemotherapy, which I thought was
Right.
genius. Like, son of a bitch, you got it. Like, dude, this is it. But like, I was also looking at the cost. Insurance ain't gonna cover that.
No, not out of no. Especially I'm in Canada, you're covered by your government, and so I'm in Ontario,
Right,
so I get what's called OHIP. So everything I do has to be approved by OHIP, which is crap.
right, yeah.
And they're not going to cover out of province treatments, and they won't bring any real treatments into the country. I swear they want you to die. That's why they're giving you sugar at chemo. Everybody
I'm
hear
not
that? They
surprised.
want you to die. They're giving you sugar. I swear to God.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, but
Um,
this is what I'm saying. If let's say you started to design your protocol and you were considering going into, these other directions, as you would say, I think it would be great if they can kind of give you some guidance. If they can say, well, if you're going to go that route, this is what we recommend that you should do.
I
You
have
know.
a really cool pharmacist. Um,
Mhm.
so when I took too much ivermectin and I had weird visuals and got a migraine, and then next day when I went in to do my immune therapy, it was actually the next day they did my blood work and my white blood cells were extremely low. I said, hey, I don't want to say his name, but
Yeah.
if I took too much ivermectin, would this be a consequence? He's like, yep, that would do it. He pulled it up on the computer first and confirmed, yeah. If you took ivermectin can cause, he's like, how much? I'm like, I took high dose. He's like, what's high dose? Like 24 milligrams because 12 is normal dose. I'm like, no, I took 96 milligrams. He goes,
Oh
that's
shit.
not a good idea.
That's a good way to kill the horse, huh?
I wanted to talk to cancer. But he was
But
cool.
yeah,
He
dude.
laughed. He
Yeah.
laughed. He's like, "Yeah, there's no side effects, King." I'm like, "No, I know it's a safe drug, but high dose ivermectin can really beat down the cancer." So I wanted to push the limits. He's like, "You certainly did," but he was cool with it. So I am lucky to have that, but my oncologist wouldn't dare have that conversation with me.
No, I mean, one of the when my children got sick, I can't really talk about it, but when my children got sick, you know, as soon as I told them that I was that I hold a doctorate in medicine, they kind of changed their tune, and they told me that you should be thinking like us. You know, here I am getting into a shouting match, and as soon as they find out that I have the background, they're like, oh shit, you know, I can't give him a brochure to go away. Like, no, it's not gonna work. But with the oncologist, I just think it's because, dude, he has a mortgage to pay.
Exactly. RJ,
Yeah.
email me. RJ, just on this question, on that question, email me. I'll put my email in the thing. You're absolutely right, and that's awesome that you have your doctorate of medicine, so you can get into it with them. That's
But yeah, man,
awesome.
like there's like, did you ever hear of this person called Jessie Lee Ward?
No, who's that?
She was trying to treat herself. She had stage 4 colon cancer. She died, I think, last year. And she was
That's
trying to
cool.
treat herself. And I think she was trying to do the Gerson therapy, which is a high vegetable juice, high supplementation, coffee enemas. And then she was taking ketones. But I think with her, since she was trying to do it everything herself, she was kind of feeding her cancer rather than, when you look at Jeff the Prosperous's end, he's using Siegfried's protocol from what I understand. And he's, so far from what I see, he's doing well.
Yeah.
So this is kind of the dangers that people have when they start, I'm going to go my own direction. But I haven't heard of anybody going into Siegfried's direction and not turning out okay. I haven't heard of anyone yet. I haven't seen anyone, you know. So that's why, you know, some of these people like Dr. Nee are kind of like, I was listening to her interview. I'm like, there's no need for you to go into different directions. If you just kind of, if you're able just to stick to Siegfried's 30-year science research, you know, I think you should be fine, because she's really working it. You know, I look at some of her YouTube videos, and she's really working. Like she wants to stick around. You
We
know,
got a bunch of stuff to answer. Ned wants to know the name of the clinic. What's the name of that clinic that does
the name of the clinic is called Chemothermia,
chemothermia?
Chemothermia in Istanbul, Turkey.
Istanbul, Turkey, chemothermia.
Yes.
And then RJ, I put my email in the comments. Send me an email. I don't want to talk about that too much here. That's on the,
Yeah, I
the
read one of your
bottom.
comments about saying that it's good, like acting as if he has cancer. I mean, it is, because you know, my diet has changed completely. I've lost 40 pounds. I test my GKI probably once or twice a day, and my wife is like, "What the hell's the matter with you? Like, what the hell is this?" You know. But I'm trying to get her to start doing it. You know, all my family, I'm trying to get them, if they'd be interested in getting a GKI, because I'd be happy to get the GKI for them.
Kevin, yeah, email me your story. That's no problem. Holy, this is an awesome live. This has been great. Fructose breaks down, and yeah, this has been amazing. I got to get in the hot tub. As I said at the beginning, I got to go in the hot tub with my wife. It's 9 o'clock, and I have a hard time staying up past 9. I want to keep going here, but maybe you can call in the next. Can you email me, Little Man's Dreams?
Yeah. Just let me see. I'll tell you what. I'll see later on in next week if I can get on another live. I'll just shoot you a message, because sometimes they won't let me chat.
Okay, send me an email, and then we can communicate there too, and maybe we can do. Everybody is loving this, and so am I. Maybe we can do a podcast together, you and me,
Yeah,
pre-record
when you're done, we can switch egg McMuffins, and then we'll see what's up.
it.
I'm serious, dude. I'm gonna go over there, dude. I'm gonna go fucking over there, dude. I'm fucking serious. This
That's
dude, this is
funny.
like, you know, I don't know, dude, but I don't know. I'm just hearing about all these people and all these conspiracy theories, and I'm like, I'm beginning to think that a lot of this shit's true, but I don't know. It's kind of weird over here.
Yeah. All right, guys. I tried to keep up with the comments, but this was such a great live. I did my best. I'm gonna end the stream here because I gotta go get in the hot tub with my wife. It's been an hour. This has been the longest live. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. I hope we keep having more like this. Again, guys, it's a call-in show, and this is why. Just you get everybody feel good to call in, tell your story, share your experiences, share your knowledge. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, but a hot tub with the wife, dude, that's more important.
It sure
It
is.
sure is, man.
It
Peace
sure
out,
is
buddy.
more important.
Peace
No,
out,
you can
dog.
stay there. You can stay there for a second. I'll just end the stream. It'll just be you and me. I'll just finish off some of these. Yeah, thank you, everybody. Thanks, RJ. Dr. Seafried email. Yeah, if anybody wants, I can email Seafried too. He does email back. He usually just sends his research, but it's still cool. More fructose. Yes, fructose. Lots of good stuff coming in here. But guys, I gotta shut her down. Hot tub with the wife. Sorry, guys. We'll see you all tomorrow again. I'll do another update. I'll try to keep these going every day. Have a good night, everybody. Bye.